Moved in, Andre?
Absolutely not. The wife want to paint. She want to spend extra money and change up stuff. I don't even argue with her. Whatever you want to do.
Just do it.
Yeah.
One day my husband gonna grow up like that because that's every woman's dream. So don't be too mad at her.
Yeah.
He still argues. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, April. Good morning, Shabbat. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning.
Did
Good
you get my?
morning.
Good
Yes,
morning.
ma'am, I did.
Okay. Good morning, AK.
Good morning.
What time is your event, Shabbat? Oh, excuse me, guys.
It's
I'm
at
sorry. What
6,
time?
and I'm going to get makeup done, kind of get like the little pride spirit going on. So,
All right.
yeah.
Good morning, Patience.
Is that gonna be another CE class like today? Because I think it's from 12 to 4, and I'll be getting makeup done. So I know you say you got to be on camera, so I know that's not gonna look too good. So are we gonna have another one like next month?
She just went away for some reason.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Chevette. Yes, we will. We'll have
Okay.
other opportunities to do it.
Yeah, because my
Shannon.
license expires September.
Shannon. Were you in another room just now?
No.
Oh, I don't know why I said tag you. I just switched my rooms for no reason at all. I was really talking to Shabbat, and then it just switched my room.
Weird.
I'm crazy. I'm going crazy this morning. It's okay, y'all. I'll have it together by the time it's time to teach. Okay, so this morning we're going to be talking about. We're going to finish yesterday's conversation. I was talking to a few agents, and I talked to Shannon, and I really didn't get a chance to go through all of the tips and advice to the for real estate in 2022. So we thought it was fruitful to change the room topic and go ahead and continue yesterday's conversation. Before we get into yesterday's conversation, today's conversation, did we find some things that we learned yesterday? Some of the tips. Did we find any of that fruitful, and were we able to apply some of it to our business?
I missed the conversation yesterday. What was it about?
Yes. Absolutely.
So yesterday was tips and advice for real estate agents, and I gave out some tips, some things that you could do to get yourself into production. It's kind of hard to go fully back, but what I will do is touch on some things that we did discuss yesterday, and then I will continue the conversation today. And if you guys have learned something along the way that you want to contribute to the conversation, please contribute to the conversation. And if you just take, like I was telling the guys yesterday, don't try to take all of this information and run with it and apply to your business. Find the things that you can do easily, quickly, without hesitation, at a high power, consistently every day. Those are the activities that I really want you to start with first. Sorry. So yesterday I did touch on doing your marketing at scale. We learned what marketing was and how to scale it. Um, you should communicate with for your neighborhood of choice, wherever you're going to be planning your feeding. That should be your farm area. You should have a 60-day communication schedule to be talking to that neighborhood for 60 days straight. You need to monetize your lead sources. So everyone who asked for the document for the 101 ways, 101 lead sources, you should have gotten that document yesterday from Shannon. If you did not, a few of you guys, your emails bounce back. So if you could put your email addresses in the chat, we can make sure we get them. Or Shannon, can you put our email in there and maybe they can send us an email asking for the document? We also talked about monetizing each lead source. How much will I make from each one of these, and how can I scale it and increase my profitability? One of the big topics we talked about yesterday was spear identity. How many of you guys went and created the funnel on paper to see where you were lacking? Okay, so
I started it. I
you
didn't
did.
finish it.
No problem. So when you started it, Shell, did, did you see where you need to fill in, like what circle you need to communicate to the most? Like what circles are lacking?
My business to business, my vendors, my
Very okay. So this is second quarter. I mean second half of the year. So it's important to know where we need to concentrate our time. So I will go over and get that in depth today. So your sphere in your database is like a funnel. And so what I would like for you guys to do this exercise, what you have to do is you have to have a piece of paper and you're going to draw 4 circles. So the inner circle is going to be the smallest circle. And we'll start with that one first. So you might write a small circle and you put your raving fans there. So you should have 10 to 15 raving fans in your area where you sell real estate going out and saying, you know what, Janelle is the best thing since chicken wings. Every time they hear the word real or estate, they begin to pass out your information. They know your number by heart. They know what you do. They know how to communicate your value proposition. And then you're going to write another circle around that circle. When you write that circle, that's going to be your sphere of influence. These are people that I can pick up the phone today, and when they see my number come across my their caller ID, they're like, "Oh, hey, Janelle," and it doesn't have to be saved, or it could be saved. But I need at least 200 plus of those people who are saying, "Yes, I know, love, and trust Janelle." And then we're going to write another circle around those 2 circles. And that circle is going to be my B2B, my business to business. That's my vendor to vendor business. So this vendor and vendor business can consist of landscaping, roofers, plumbers, tilers, floor people, carpet people, exterminators, people who fix fence, general contractors, lenders, ins- let's see, foundation people. Who else can we add to this list that would be people that we need to go out and network with? Can you guys contribute to that so we can help Shell fill her vendor to vendor? Like, give us some ideas of who we need to go out and start getting their phone numbers and building relationships with.
Pest control.
Pest control. Who else?
Cleaning services.
Very good. Yes. We definitely need cleaning services. The last house that I just sold, I sent my housekeeper over to clean it for them. And even though it was a brand new house, it still was full of dust and fingerprints and footprints. And so I wanted it to smell fresh for her. And so I sent my housekeeper over there. She cleaned it before she was able to move in. And then I had some moving and cleaning supplies and all of that stuff left there for them, and I sent them pizza so that they would have not be hungry while they were moving in. And so that's just some things that you can do to leave a lasting impression. One of the things you guys want to get used to doing is making sure you leave behind 7 things in your process that identifies your business, so that people can have brand recognition. So if you had a pen with your logo on it, a notepad, you should order some title folders so that you can take the title company's folder out, the information out the title company's folder, and put it into your folder. You should have a non-emergency sticker that they keep on the refrigerator because they will never throw it away. Um, I tell people to steer away from the sports calendars and the recipes and stuff because those things expire. If you buy baseball calendars for people with magnets to give to your clients, when the baseball season is over, the calendar is over, they throw those things away. But if you create a non-emergency sticker, a magnet with your logo on it, they will keep it forever. And so that sticker would be consist of the local pharmacy, because if you think back when the last time you went to the doctor and something was wrong and you need a prescription, the first thing they ask you for is the address to the pharmacy. So the local pharmacies that's in your farm area, number to poison control, the non-emergency number to the police department and the fire department, and the local number to the mud district or any important facility that they need in that neighborhood. Then you would put that on a sticker and they will keep it forever. So you want to be able to have 7 different things that you have left behind with your logo on it so that people will do business with you. Because if you notice, when you take your clients to the title company has what? Pens, they have pads, they have koozies, they have sanitizer, they have folders, they have everything with their logo on it, and they give it all to your client at one time. Because somewhere in their life, they're going to have something to remind them of where they've been. So you need to replicate the process. And then so we need at least 150 plus of the business to business. Now we're going to go to the last circle, and that last circle is going to be your not mets. Those are people who we go out and we meet in our business from the time we start doing business till we finish, right? So the whole objective of being in real estate is to build a presence and to build a community of people who go out and do business with us on a referral basis so that we don't have to market forever. So these not mets are people we meet at events. We get from our lead sources. These are people that we are in our forum area. And we call them not met is because we haven't had a personal conversation with them to figure out where they were in the market. So we need 500 plus of those people. Now, I want you to imagine a funnel that you have in your kitchen. The outer circle is the widest part, and whenever we're trying to get something in a small container with a small opening, we have to pour in the wide part, and it tends to get smaller in order to get into the hole. So that's what this database and that's what this spirit identity exercise is going to do for you. If you take the outer circle, that is people that you do not know right now, you will begin to do business with them. And then they will flow through all of the other circles in your database until they become a raving fan. And when you have 1,000 plus raving fans, you have a full referral based business and you won't have to market again. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. It makes sense.
Absolutely.
So Janelle, our purpose is to get to the point where we're not marketing.
Yes. The purpose is for people to know who you are and your business will continue to flow. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not lead generating, but it does mean that you don't have to market as well because you are a household brand in your area. So there are real estate agents whose business is 100% referral. Their phone rings and they do a multitude of business and they don't have to go out and market. So if you remember yesterday's conversation started with deriving, what do I want from my business? What is my value proposition? Who do I serve? What opportunity do I provide? And what solution do I give? When we do that, we have a full understanding of what we want throughout our whole career. How many of you guys know exactly how long you want to be a real estate agent?
I do.
How long do you want to be an agent?
Forever.
So tell me why it forever is it important to you?
Because I want to get to that point where my business is referral based and I can always help someone buy or sell a home because it's not hard labor. So even at the age of 70, I'm thinking that it's not going to require too much of my time because it should be systematic by then.
Very good. So real estate is laborless at some point. If you were in real estate anytime before 2015, you will know where people sold their databases. They actually sold their real estate business when they got to the point where they just could not do it anymore. I think it was Martha Turner who just passed away, and Martha Turner was still actively a name, but she didn't have to do any business anymore. Why?
Because it became referral basis.
Became referral basis, and then she had feet on the street, right? How many agents were working for Martha Turner, replicating her processes and procedures and going out and making money for her? So if we have an idea now, what we want in the future, we can derive a profitable plan to get there. And we know when it's time to pull ourselves out physically. Like there are people who don't have to do any lead generation at all or have to do any marketing because they have feet on the street who are fueling their goals. So the first and most important part is always to know my why. And the second most important part is to have goals. So if we were honest with ourselves, yesterday I told you guys to close your eyes for 5 seconds and see, do you actually see a vision of where your business will be or where you want it to be? And that's not as easy as you think it is because very few people actually have goals, smart goals. So, how many of you guys on the phone have, or in this channel, how many of you guys have goals? So imagine doing real estate for 4 or 5 years and have no direction of where you're going. We got to have some goals. Now, are y'all just don't have goals or y'all just afraid to say you have goals? You're just afraid to speak because we got to have some goals.
I have goals, Janelle.
So we should have, and we don't even, they don't even have to be specific, but just guess. Like we got to be dreamers, guys. So 1, 3, and 5, Shell. In 1 year, how many houses do you want to sell?
My goal is 12.
And in 3 years, how many you want to sell?
My goal is 36.
Okay. And then 5 years, what would be ideal when you close your eyes and look at it?
Um, well, I don't have a number for my 5 years, but my idea would be definitely where I'm deep in the six figures. My actual net is six figures, like not like 101, more like 275,000.
Okay. So with that you just said, Shell, you beat 50% of entrepreneurs because most people get in business and they say this, I want to make a lot of money. And without specific direction of how what that leaving looks like, it's impossible to make it happen. So at least you will know if you're on target. So if you want to close 12 houses in 1 year, it's 6 months in. How many houses have you closed?
So far,
Hmm.
it goes to four.
So you're two behind on meeting your goal for the rest of the year. You're two behind from where you need to be. Do you have any in escrow?
Yes, ma'am. I have two right now. Actually, I closed one tomorrow. We're scheduled to close tomorrow, and then I have another one scheduled to close. They say July the 15th, but the way it's looking because of the cabinets, I'm thinking it's probably going to be more so like around the first week of August.
So are you on target for your goals?
I believe so, but in my mind, I'm not.
Okay, so that's the reason why we
Because
goal set.
I do have a meeting tomorrow for a listing to sign a listing. So that'll kind of put me on target, but I kind of want it to be like this is six. I want it to be on my sixth house this month since this is June. You know.
So technically you are, right? You have them in escrow. But this is the conversations that we need to be having with ourselves on a weekly basis. You are on target. Now what you need to have is you should have some pending for July. So you should already be working on July and June. And then in June you're working on August.
Okay.
But because you made a specific goal, you're actually on target. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
because you set out and you think about this all the time. And where our thoughts go, our production follows. So if we're constantly looking at our numbers and constantly thinking about our goals, our production, our efforts will follow that track line. That's the the process that has been going on throughout lifetime. So if you don't really have any goals, a lot of times it says to us secretly that we really don't believe in the efforts that we have. Because even let's say you were not on target, Shell, since you were the one that spoke up. If you were not on target for your 12 deals, I could right now show you how to get back on target. But what I can't do is help someone who doesn't have a direction when they say, "Oh, I just want to make a lot of money." I don't know how to teach that. Very few people do. So it's important for us to have a why and a goal. So how many of us know why we're in this business?
I do.
Why are you in this business, Andre?
Generational wealth. No one will dictate and control how much I make. It will all be on me. And this was the best avenue for me to pass on wealth and knowledge to the next generation.
So when you made this decision, what were your decision factors? I know did you say to yourself, um, from the beginning I want to do generational wealth, or did you look for avenues to make a lot of money and realize that this was one that would do both?
Well, at the beginning, when I got fired from my other job, I realized how powerless and how much influence I didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had made up my mind then that I wanted to go to an avenue to where this never happened again. And I happened to run into real estate and it checked the boxes and went from there.
That's pretty much my story too. I worked at the bank. I worked at Bank One, and then Chase. I worked in home equity, and then Chase bought out Bank One, and I had bought my first flip. I was pregnant with my son, and we were getting ready to close on our house. My AC went out, and I needed $3,000. And it didn't matter how much overtime I worked, I wasn't gonna get that $3,000. Matter of fact, I had to wait till overtime was offered. It wasn't something that I could actually go and do. And so when Bank One laid them off, when Bank One sold to Chase, probably 6 months later, they let everyone go. And I was the first person they let go because I was the only part time person in my department. And I never wanted to feel that way again. I never wanted to be like, man, I can't go get $3,000 if I needed it because I needed an AC, and being pregnant in summer heat is not fun. So I when we sold our flip, I realized how much our real estate agent made, and I still wasn't convinced. I was like, that's not going. I'm not. I need a guaranteed check because it took us about 6 months to sell it, and then I didn't have any other choice. So I used my severance package to go to real estate school. And after I sold two houses, I realized that if I ever needed any money, all I had to do was go out and sell a house. So, like Shell, I will sell real estate forever. My kids will have to roll me to the door for me to open it, if because at any time where I need to make some money, I can just get right back into the game and sell a house and do whatever it is that I need to do. So we have an unlimitless avenue to make as much money as you possibly can. But the way to do that is to have a why I do it. No one can pull the rug out from under me. And two, where do I want to go with this thing? So if I was to tell you to do anything and give you any advice, it's to have a SMART goal. And SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, reasonable, and timely goal. And you have to measure your why. If your why is small, your your production is small. If your why is big, your production is big. So how many of us have a huge why?
Of
I
course,
can
I
share.
Go ahead. Andre, you can go.
Okay. So at the beginning of the year, our goal was to do 30 million in transaction, and it took us a whole year last year to do 13.6, and we're already, I believe, at 16 or 17 million for the year. So what changed? What changed? Having an aggressive goal, having things in line, automated, having a team, but also stretching yourself. Because 30 million was a large number at the beginning. And if you would ask me how, I couldn't have given you a pinpoint. I could have gave you the numbers and how many deals we need to do, but it's not like I had them lined up, ready to go. But we stretch ourselves, and now we're on pace to surpass it. So I definitely
So
agree with you.
you're at 16 million in June. So when did you hit 13 million? What month did you hit 13?
Diamond, I believe Diamond told me it was last month. Last month.
So, so in 5 months, you did 12 months worth of work.
That's correct.
What did you have in place to be able to do that?
And once again, I'm not even implementing 100% of what I'm being taught by Janelle and Rayvon, but we do have systems in place, transaction coordinator, marketing team, email marketing team. And all I do is I go out and build rapport, build relationship, and bring the business in and delegate it. So we have a better system in place now.
So yeah, I was just gonna say. So from last year when you did 13 million to now, what did you implement in December? Or no, you came to the business clinic. So in October, what did you go back to your team and do and implement to do 1 year's worth of work in 5 months?
I told them, first of all, we got on the same page as far as the marketing, right? When
Hmm.
we brought in someone new for our email marketing and our campaign and our Yes to Real Estate campaign. And then Diamond is doing an amazing job with keeping up with everything, responding to emails and phone calls quickly, and making sure that everybody's taken care of.
And how many people are on your team, Andre?
Um, Diamond, Boss, Jenny, four, two, two,
4 people.
two marketing as far as Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and then we have email marketing with Michael, and then Diamond, transaction coordinator. And we're about to add a different division, but that's coming soon.
It is possible with 4 people to make 30 million. Actually, you're on target for 30 million.
Correct.
What I'm trying to show you guys is whatever you've done good, you can triple it, you can duplicate it, you can scale it. And so it don't take a lot of things, but one, it does take stretching, it does take a goal, it does take system and models. But really only thing you have to do as a person once you have those things in place is to go out and build rapport. So basically that 500 number that I was telling you guys on that outer circle is the not mets. That's what comes from systems. That's what comes from lead generating. So his circle is being filled with email marketing and campaigns on Instagram and Facebook. But in order to know how much you need, how many people you need in that outer circle, how many people you need in your third and your second and your first circle, you got to have a goal. Now, this thing I want you guys to know in Houston, there's 50 something thousand real estate agents in HAR. There's 100,000 real estate agents in the Houston and surrounding areas. And there's 100 real estate agents doing over 10 million in sales. So how do we get on that pathway to being part of the top 10, the 100 people who are doing more than 10 million in sales. So he's on target to do 30 million. If he finishes the year with 30 million, he will probably be in a class of about 20 people. How do you get there?
Number one, join CRA Elite.
Yeah.
A team, coach, budget.
Say it again, Charlie.
A team, a coach, and a budget.
Yeah. Because I don't want people to think that this is something you can do for free. Andre, you don't have to give us you and Charlie both have a good marketing team. So give me a roundabout number of how much I'll spend in marketing.
No, I don't mind sharing and being transparent about the numbers because I think it's crucial that you are transparent. And so let people know the challenges and the good, but be open about the numbers. Why hide it? But we're spending approximately just 5, 6 thousand. So total, we're looking at around close to $10,000 a month that we have now boosted up on marketing and transaction coordinator and added Michael to the team.
So it's $10,000 a month.
Yes.
So you
Now
spending
look,
uh-huh.
I don't want to do nothing. All I want to do is go get the business and delegate it. That's all I want to do and push the brand forward.
Okay. So if we're gonna be real transparent, if he finishes the year with 30 million in sales, he's gonna make $900,000. That doesn't even include his developments that he does on the side. But just with 30 million in sales, he'll do $900,000. And he's gonna spend $120,000 in salaries and marketing. Would you spend 120 to make 900?
But
Yep.
I think here's the challenge with most people, Janelle, is that you can spend that money and it's not a guarantee that you're going to get a return. You have to have faith in what you're doing, your systems, and understand that it's a process and an investment. Are you willing to invest in yourself to push your agenda forward? And that's where it comes down to.
So I would agree and disagree. So I agree that you do have to have the faith, right? But I disagree with the fact that that's all you need. You really don't even need faith in the process. You need to measure it every month. You know exactly how much you want on a return for a dollar. So when we asked you how much you want for every dollar, you say, I want 7%, right? I want 7 times back what I put in. So on it right now, you're on target to make $75,000 a month. Well, if I am doing what I'm supposed to do, the systems is supposed to work. I don't have to have faith. I don't have to cross my fingers. I don't have to do luck. I don't have to do prayers. I need to look at what the results are of the things that I am using. And so from January to June, every system that you have in place is bringing you $75,000 a month. Keep using it. If you wanted to get to 60,000, all you have to do at this point, because you have proven that it works for you, your system works for you. So if you wanted to start right here today and get 30 million for the next 6 months, you could do it. All you have to do is triple what you're doing right now. I mean, double what you're doing right now. However much money you're putting into your marketing, all you got to do is reach a different crowd. Like you just got to reach a little different, deeper, put a little bit more money in it, and continue to go out and build relationships. And you could actually close 30 million from today to December because it's measured, it's attainable, it's reasonable, and it's timely. But some of us don't have systems in place that pay. And those systems are not, they're not hard. Here is the system. You're supposed to output lead generation. You should have 3 lead generations that is bringing you clients at a high return. So if you don't have an email sequence in place, you don't have a Facebook and an Instagram ad in place, and you don't have any social marketing, and you don't have any community presence, you cannot get that high of a number in real estate. That's all the systems is. You need to have a social system. You need to have a community system, which I call your form area, and you need to have a email system, because email is still bringing 400% return on your input. Your output is always 400%. People still read emails. It's still the number 2 marketing out there. So you need social, you need community, you need email, and you can do exactly what he's doing and what all of them are doing. If you go to Lance Loken, that's
I'll
all
be right
Lance
back.
Loken does. Someone's gonna say, "Go, Kayla. You had something to say." I think she accidentally took her thing off. So again, if you have goals, that's great. You guys really need to narrow it down to your systems. I'm gonna give you some the things that I was gonna finish today. So I want you to put your content and your social media market in 6 buckets. This is what you should create content around. You should create content around the real me, the knowledge. You should be an education broker. It should be around your hyper localness, your lifestyle and community expert. It should have some agent behind the scenes work. Who are you outside of your work? So who are you outside of real estate? So a lot of us, we post a lot of real estate stuff, but we never post who we really are. And it should have some social proof that you have listed, that you have sold, and that you are working with people in this industry. And then you should always post buzzworthy information about what's going on in the area when you work. So I'll give those to you again. This is what your content should be wrapped around. These are 6 buckets that you need. The real you, who are you? Your knowledge, you should have some education about real estate. You should be hyper local. It should be some lifestyle information in there and some community information in there. The agent behind the scenes, what it really is when you are getting ready for work and who are you outside of work. Your social proof, what you have listed, what you have sold, and who you are working with, and always some buzzworthy news that's going on in your community. That's your social system. You should post at least 6 times. You should have at least a combination of videos, reels, and stories throughout the day. And you should always have a ad running on your Facebook and your Instagram. You would not have to buy any leads if you would do those things. Another thing I want you guys to build is, I want you to build a list today of 500 to 1,000 people that you can have a conversation with in the next 30 days. Now, you will get this list from Circle Prospecting. You can get it if you own a system called Mojo, RedX, Vulcan 7. But don't just build a list of just 500 random people. Circle prospect around an area in which you want to sell real estate in, a new home community in which you want to service, a targeted audience that you want to speak to, such as seniors or millennials or condos or um, downsizers, empty nesters. And then spend 2 hours a day for 30 days calling on this list, and it will increase your business 50% of wherever you are right now. So if you've only sold 10 houses this year, if you create a list of 500 to 1,000 people, you will close 20 houses by the end of the year. And the last thing I want you to think about is creating some personal disciplines. You need to consider who you are on and off of work. You also need to know when you're on and when you're off. None of us are on all of the time. And what I mean is that we feel good and we're working all of the time. Sometimes we're on, sometimes we off. We need to identify with the feelings and the things that are going on when we're on, and we need to identify with the feelings and the things that are going on in our life when we're off. Now, what that will do for you is when you get off, you need to incorporate the things and the feelings and the environments that bring you back on, because we can get there, but we can't stay there. And lastly, I want you to ask yourself, what are my commitments, and who am I committed to? So, who can say right now what they're committed to and who they're committed to? If you are a parent, you definitely should say, I am committed to providing the life to my children that I sought out and promised them that they would have. And I'm committed to myself to realize the goals and the lifestyle in which I dream about. How many of you guys have commitments?
I do.
Who
I
wants to
do.
who wants to share their commitments? Like, what are you committed to? Who is it that you cannot let down? Do you guys have someone in your life that you cannot let down? It's a reason why I cannot fail because of this.
I can't.
I think you summed it up as far as like yourself and your children. Like that's the major for me, that I cannot let down my kids and myself.
Absolutely. Myself as well.
Yeah.
The way that I look at it is I can't let down my 8-year-old self and my 80-year-old self.
Mm. That's good, Kayla. Go
You
into
like
that.
that? What you mean
I
go into
do.
it?
I like that. I
Like
like
as a
that.
kid, you dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember what I wanted in life is when I was 8, right? So I got to make her happy. Okay, and then when I'm 80, I imagine how my life should have been or would have been when I'm that age, right? And I don't want to let her down either.
That's good.
You like that?
Wow, that was powerful,
That is powerful. Like I did. I like that.
man.
Man,
Who said
because
that,
Kayla, that's good.
Kayla?
Let me That was awesome.
That
Go
was
ahead on,
powerful,
Y'all just
daughter.
Kayla.
made my morning. Thanks.
Go
Now
ahead on, daughter.
let me tell you why that's so awesome, Kayla, because as a kid, I remember, I'm gonna be real transparent with y'all. As a kid, I was that kid who always watched stuff and wish it was me. Like I love to dream as a kid, and then I got married as a kid, and I kept telling myself in the last 10 years of my marriage that I kept losing my smile. As a kid, I smiled and I dreamed, and then life got so real that it caused me not to dream for a really long time. And all I wanted to do was have three things happen in my life. I wanted to sell real estate forever. I wanted my daughter to see someone love me. And I wanted to be happy and I wanted to smile again like I did when I was a kid, like when I was 12 years old. So when you said that, everything that I just told you sparked in me when you said that. I don't want to let my 12-year-old self down. And I definitely don't want I have a thing in my head, I'm gonna live to 93. I don't know why that number's specific, but I keep saying that. But I definitely don't want to let my 80-year-old self down either. That was so good and powerful.
Thank you.
And Shell had told us about a letter that she had wrote to herself that was so powerful that I think everyone should do this exercise. So I'm gonna let her do the last thing so that you guys can leave this conversation, and it'll probably be way more fruitful than anything I've said today. Michelle, tell us about the letter you wrote yourself when you got into real estate.
Oh wow. Um, so I wrote myself a letter um, to November of this year. A letter that I'm gonna read to the family, as if I made plans on what's gonna happen. Like I said, goals, and I wrote the letter to myself thanking myself for reaching the goals or what have you. And then I also wrote another letter as if I didn't reach the goal, explaining why it didn't happen. And then when that date comes, which is Thanksgiving of this year, I have to read the letter to my family.
And you have
Whether
to read either one or the other.
right, I have to either read the one where I reached my goals, or I have to read the one where I did not reach my goals. And of course, if you go ahead and imagine and put yourself in that situation, you're not gonna want to read the one where you didn't reach the goal, because if you're emotionally attached and you really in this for your why, as you write in the letter, you're gonna tear up a little bit, even though this was like 10, 11 months down the way. So like right now, I'm on point. I got my nephew his truck yesterday, so I'm on point. So I'm
Woo!
re-
Good
yeah,
stuff.
I'm ready to read
Yes.
the letter. Yes. So yeah, but yeah, that's powerful. I like that because I just don't want to read that letter to my family on Thanksgiving. That's supposed to be a happy holiday.
Oh my God, you made my day. I remember, if some of you guys were on that call, I remember in November when you told us you wrote this letter and we were all in awe. And that was the one thing that you wanted to do was take care of your nephew and buy him a truck. And
Mhm.
just, I'm gonna let you know that letter is where it is the reason why. It's the number one reason why you are where you are today. Because I can guarantee you, without you telling me, every month you think about that letter. Which one am I gonna open? I
Yep.
don't want to open the other one. I told him I was gonna buy him a truck. I said I was gonna do it, and I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna get it done. And no matter what you went through, because all of your deals have not been, we have been working together for months, and all
Mhm.
your deals haven't been great. But God has always put in place what you put work for. I say, if you lead with the thought, the process will follow. It's impossible for it not to. So now you're on target, and you're on target to do two things. You bought the truck, and you're
Mhm.
going to get to open the good letter.
Yes, ma'am.
That's
Yes.
awesome. And the thing of it is, you committed to yourself first, and then you committed to others. So
Mhm.
my suggestion would be every year, I want you to write that letter, and I want you to make it, I want you to stretch yourself harder every year
Yes, ma'am.
until one day you don't open the good letter. And that's going to be your capacity. But you're going to push yourself every time because I know you think about that letter all the time. And
Mhm.
so it takes those things. It takes the stretching, like Andre said, it takes the commitment to my thoughts. When I told you guys to close your eyes, Kayla could actually see the 8-year-old and the 80-year-old all at the same time. So it's important to do these exercises, as cheesy as it seems. It helps us get to where we are. You can ask any successful entrepreneur. They have to have these things in place in order to succeed. So after yesterday's conversation, I really want, if you missed it, go back and listen to it on Clubhouse. You can hit the replay. And then today's conversation should definitely get you on target for the rest of the year. This conversation was purposeful. We're about to end June, and this is our 6 month check in. If we're not on target, you still have time to get on target with your goals and end this year and read the good letter to your family. Any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns?
I have a comment.
Mm-hmm.
This is Chanel. I want to talk about yesterday when we got off Clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
You told us to imagine where we want to be, and kind of like follow like three. I mean, what I did, I wrote down three successful real estate agents in my area that I know this in the $1 million club where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
That I knew on only knew two of them on a personal level, and one of them I did know on a somewhat personal level. So I reached out to all three of them. My first two that I knew on a personal level, I thought they was gonna be more helpful to me, but they kind of shut me down and told me that they was somewhat busy. The one that I least, the one that I didn't expect to accept me was the one who asked you told me, yeah, he was like, yeah, Tanel, he was like, I don't want you to leave the company. He was like, if I can help you with anything, he was like, you say you want to work with seller. He said you can't survive in this field working with buyer. He's like, I totally understand if you want to work with seller. He said, I got a listing this Saturday. I want you to get up. When you get up, sir, I want you to call me. He was like, I like to get up early. He said, call me around by 8. We get together around by 9. We get to work in the field. He said, I want you to follow me for a whole week. Just shadow me. He said, I'm going to show you how to work, how to do the contracts working with sellers. I'm gonna teach you how to work for sale by owner. He said, now I can't guarantee that these things will work for you, but I can show you what I know. And when I got off the phone, I couldn't do nothing but holler and scream and thank God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So one thing a lot of things, but the most important thing I appreciate about you, Tania, is that you actually put everything in play. You'll call me, but you put everything in play that I tell you to do. And I have been telling real estate agents for a lifetime since I've been coaching that you list, you last. You cannot last in this business being a buyer's agent. It's important to have listings because you need market share, and people will help you, but it is going to be the people who you think about the least. That's why I say call people in other states, in other areas, and other people who you may think that won't give you the time of day, but they will give you the time of day. Now, my advice is to take advantage, full advantage of everything that he told you to do. Get up early because those are habits of high performers. That's why I told you guys to read the book. Habits of high performers. High performers get up early. They prioritize their day. They make a millionaire success list that contains 15 things that they must accomplish. They get the 5 most important things done before the day starts so that they will not get distracted. And they are out there speaking and talking to people in the community who can make a difference and also show their presence. So he's going to show you habits. You may not do it the way he does it, but if you just incorporate the habits, you will have a change in your business that you could only dream about.
I'm ready for it. And this is the only thing. It's like I I don't have much money, but I have money. I want to give him a token of appreciation or give him something that's meaningful, but it's like when I tell you this guy is like way out of my comfort zone, like we don't like we don't match on no level,
Mm.
and I don't know what to give him to show him appreciation.
I'm gonna tell you what to give him.
I can make him something. I, baby girl, I do custom stuff, and I won't even charge you. Miss Janelle, can you give her my number, and I can make custom stuff, and then you can give it to him. A lot
Yes.
of people like custom things, and I won't charge you. Like I can let you see what I do. Like I do cups, t-shirts, mouse pads. I can pretty much put anything on anything.
I,
Okay.
I
And he
disagree with what she said. She said she don't know what to give him. You spend a whole week with him. You know exactly what to give him. Go back in your mind and just watch what did he do that you like. Oh man, he could tweak this or tweak that. He'd be go to a whole nother level. And it doesn't have to be money. It could be something in real estate, something that you can add value to him in real estate that he do not know that he needs right now that you can provide for him.
Uh,
Think about that week.
okay, he did express to me that he do have dialysis and that he's getting sick. and
Mm.
and then he said he would love to pass on the information.
Mm-hmm.
But I told him if I can be any value to him, I said I don't care what it is. Whatever you need to get the job done, pick up the phone and call me.
No,
So
so
I was gonna say that to Neil before Shell and Andre said it. Like I would get Shell to make him something so he could be comfortable with dialysis because our dialysis is not a very great place to be. So a cup with something, but more importantly, you can the best payment you can give him is to perform for him to know that he can trust you with his business. So before you even said that, I was going to say that he is looking for someone that he can pass the baton to. So the best payment you could do is to make a good use of his time and go implement everything that he taught you so that he can trust you later to give it to you. So you just fed yourself for a lifetime if you do it correctly. If you go with him and you shadow him and you implement what he is saying to do, one day he's going to pass it over to you, but he got to find someone he can trust. And most people, they do not reach out and give people freely when they have committed to creating something magnificent. They give it to the hungry. They give it to the people who want it because nobody helped them get to where they are. So he has a lot of people who depend on him, but he has no one that he can depend on. So be who he can depend on, and your life will change dramatically.
I promise I am. I'm gonna be his number one protege. I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna show out every time and
Yes,
deliver.
yes. If you look at the rich people who have passed away, a lot of these people, Steve Jobs, all these people did not leave their children anything, and people think, oh, they crazy, they won't leave them anything. That's because they were needed by them people all of their life, but they had very few people that they could count on when they had it. The oxygen is very low at the top. The higher you climb, the less you can breathe because everybody is looking for the next step up. But very few people will come to you and say, what can I do to add value to you? So if he told you to get your butt up early, being on time is late. If he say be with me at 5 o'clock in the morning and you don't ever get up that early, find a way to be up at 3 and be at his door at 4:30 with coffee. Because what he's about to give you, most people pay me thousands of dollars to do. And he's willing to do it for nothing at all because you took the initiative and you picked up the phone and you called. It's a dream of a lifetime. I guarantee you, very few people can pick up the phone and call. Um, right, you got time to shadow somebody and let somebody hang around you?
I definitely don't.
That's what I mean. So that man has something has told him that he not gonna be here for a while, or he is not gonna be able to do this for a while, and you called at the right time. But that was something I told you guys to do, and you picked up the phone and you done it. That's not the only person out there. All you guys got to do is pick up, go to another state, go to another part of the city. If someone called me from a different state, I would be more likely to help them because they're not my competition. But he needed help. This is a blessing for you. Please maximize it
I will do.
and add value to his clients, like Andre said. It's important for us when we're looking for somebody to help us that we have something to give them in return. When we're asking our vendor partners to help us, if we go to them and say, hey, I wanted you to help me with my event. Here's what I have. I have all of the list of all of my past clients that I've already talked to, sold houses to, or wanted to sell houses to, had them on a list. Here's access to their database. So maybe you can do something with it and we can do business together. If you came to your vendor partners like that, they will give you thousands of dollars. But most of us want them to do something for us that we haven't even given them one piece of business. No value at all. So I thoroughly appreciate you, for taking the time to actually implement some of this stuff that we're learning every single day because it does work. I promise you it does.
Yeah, because like when I get out the phone with him, it's like I couldn't even sleep last night. I stayed up. I started making writing. I will make writing sample letter for that empty nester, renters. I just started writing stuff in like I know like yesterday you was well the day before you was telling us about the neighborhood report and I was playing with our MLS system and one day I had put in a neighborhood and it gave me every house in the neighborhood and I can literally just sit there and look at the owners who was occupy owners and who was investors. And I I said that I was gonna take that information. Now I just need to know what's every neighborhood name. So I brought me a map of Memphis and I took it to Knowledge Street and had it laminated and put it on my wall. Cause I got plans to work every area in Memphis, and I plan on going there. I want to send out cards first, and then I want to show up and knock on their door. I don't want to work backwards. I want to work forward. So when they get my card out of the mail, or I send them some letter through the mail, when they actually see me on their door, I want them to feel like they know me.
Amen. That's good. That's the work. That's the process. That is the process. You hit them on the phone, you send them a letter, and then you visit them. Remember, we reach them four ways: by phone, by person, by mail, and by text. So if they receive all 4 points from you, when you the last step when you knock on their door, they're gonna be, oh, you the lady that's been mailing me all these letters. Oh, I just talked to you on the phone the other day. And they will have a fruitful conversation with you. That's the process. Follow it. I'm glad you bought the map. You are implementing the steps and you will succeed. I promise you will. Keep leading with initiative. Keep making plans. If you have goals, they will happen for you. So, well, who else has comments, questions, concerns? I really encourage you guys who missed yesterday to go back and listen to the replay. There was a lot of helpful tips for you guys on there. Today, I hope the social tips and the success list and all of the things we talked about today would help you. And if you're at a point in your business and you don't have a why and you don't have a goal, don't even worry about any of those other things. Start with that. We have to have something bigger than us that we're working for, and we have to know why we're working and how much work we need to do and how much we want to receive from that work. And this is a great opportunity to finish the year strong. So if you don't know your why, put it on a piece of paper. If it doesn't make your skin crawl, or if it doesn't make you anxious, or if it doesn't make you nervous, it's not big enough. And you keep going till you're like, oh man, that's scary. And that's where you stop. Then add a monetary value to it to say, this is how many houses I want to close. This is how many products I want to sell. And this is how much money I want to make. And I promise it will lead you to that place. Just by Andre saying, I'm doing 30 million this year. He's done what he did in one whole year in 5 months. Dreaming is free, y'all. So I hope today helped. If you got today again, we're having legal at 12 to 4. You must be on time if you're coming to the legal class. If you're taking it online, you have to be on the video with your camera on the whole.
Okay, can I ask a question? Because Booming
Uh-huh.
Bee is booming. I need help, you guys. So if anybody can help me show um in the Humble Atascocita area like this morning um before like 10:30, like around 10:30, because I'm not showing one person and I got another person to show. Please help me because sis is struggling.
So if y'all can help Benitra show houses today, um Benitra, can you put the
Call
information
me.
put your information in the chat so they can call you?
Yes, ma'am. Only
Uh,
because I got to make it to my legal class because my license is expired on the 30th.
Lord have mercy. Help us, Lord.
I also have an ask. I saw a couple of people in group me intending to come to Legal One CE class today. We need you to register. So I've put out the link, but if you need it again, please email me. The email is in the chat. But I want to make sure that I am organized and I'm able to let you into the room. So please do take advantage. And the CE class today, there's a registration link, and then there's also one tomorrow on Friday from 12 to 2. So all of that information has been put out there via email, text, and group me. But if you are not a part of our brokerage and you want to get the information, you can also email me at training@crealty.com.
All right, guys. I hope you guys have a productive day. I hope these help, and I will see you guys again next Tuesday. We're on this app every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 8:30 to 9:30. And so I got to get ready to teach. I will see you guys in class at 12 o'clock. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.